Hey, my name's Melissa and we're gonna go through a Sundream S2 install today. You can find the install manual on the PERGOLUX app, or you can go to www.pergolux.app. Before you start, you're gonna need to purchase the waterproof silicone caulk, and you're gonna need the 12 anchoring bolts to anchor the pergola. Those are not included in the pergola kit. For the installation, you'll need a mallet, an Allen wrench kit, a ladder, a tape measure, a level, a wrench set, and a 10mm socket, a drill, a set of normal bits, a T20 Torx bit, caulking gun, some pliers, and a knife. The B boxes are the beams, the C boxes are the columns, and the L boxes are the louvers. You'll want to open your B and C boxes first. The front beam has the PERGOLUX logo on the face and will come with the back beam, which has the motor and louver attachments. That box also has your box of hardware and components. The two side beams are going to be packaged together and both have pre-installed access panels and the brush strips inside the beams. The columns are packaged in pairs and include the corner covers, the base plates, and the base plate screws. There's a little bit of prep work before installation. There are pre-installed metal blanking strips on the bottom of each beam and on the inner sides of the columns. If you have a heater or multiple heaters, you would remove part of or the whole strip from the bottom track where you want the heater. If you have screens or glass walls, you remove the strips on the bottom of the beam and the columns where you will install the screen or glass wall. You can remove these strips either by hand or with a tool. The first step is to attach the base plates to the columns. To make it easy, line up the flat corner edge of the base plate with the flat edge on the column. Use the B screws and a T20 Torx bit. We recommend using the included lubricant to coat the screws. Notice there are two openings for water drainage, and there will be one opening on the corner for electrical wiring. Attach all 4 base plates to the columns. These 3 outer holes are for your anchoring hardware. This hole here, the smaller one, is for electrical wiring if you want to hardwire, and then this bigger hole here is for water drainage. The manual indicates that you should attach the back beam to 2 columns, then the front beam to 2 columns. You'll then stand those up and attach the sides. This is a great way to put up your frame. But we'll give you another install option here as a tip or trick that will also work for you. Start by attaching the 2 columns to the beam marked 1 in the manual, which is the back beam of the pergola, and it's where all the motor hardware is pre-installed. Using the E screws, you're going to dip them in the lubricant, and then the trick is to partially drill them in and then tighten them all at the end. Next, attach one of the side beams to a 3rd column. You're going to then make sure your J brackets are inserted into the slots on the front and the back beams, and then stand up your back beam and columns and the side beam and column. Be ready with the ladders, drill, and screws so you can attach those 2 sides together, leaving you with the frame on 3 legs. Now you're going to install the final side and the final column, attach those 2 together, then you're going to stand that up the same as before and attach it to the back beam. Before you attach the front beam, slide the plastic splash guard into the small groove at the bottom of the beam. This will prevent water from dripping out of your gutter into your pergola. Then you'll lift the front beam and attach it to the frame. All right, your frame is done and ready to go. For orientation's sake, when you are facing your pergola and the motor beam is on the back, your louvers are going to open from left to right. Next, you're going to use 2 J bolts in every single corner. That's going to secure that J bracket that you installed in the beams before. Then you're going to insert the plastic M parts in every single corner and secure them with the M screws. This is going to link the gutters together for water drainage. Take the metal O bracket, and that's also going to go in every single corner. That's going to hold down the plastic pieces, and it might require a little bit of force to maneuver them into place. At this stage, you're going to install your LEDs. Refer to the LED install video. Secure the plastic L corner piece over the 2 gutters where the 2 beams meet. 1 in each corner, and then use the L screw to fasten them in. Use the silicone waterproof caulk to seal the 2 holes at each of the corners. To install the motor, slide the clamp with the countersink holes facing outwards onto the motor arm. Next, attach the bolt and the nut from the T-bag using an Allen key. This will secure the extending arm of the motor to the pre-installed louver arm on the beam. The bolts will be installed from the outside and the nut will be on the inside. Make sure that the motor part is completely flush against the swinging tab of the louver arm. Now you'll secure and tighten the clamp. Ensure the louvers are completely closed and the clamp is positioned as shown in the manual. The clamp comes with 3 bolts. The longer bolt will be in the middle and there will be 2 smaller on either side. Using an Allen key, you will screw in each one. Now is a good time to program and test the control box. The control box is going to connect your motor and your LEDs with the option to connect 1 heater. It's going to use a power cord that goes to a standard 110 volt outlet. For the RGB LEDs, you're going to use the PX293 control box. For the warm white LEDs, you're going to use the PX292 control box. It'll say it right on the control box itself. The RGB is going to have 4 prongs on the LED wire. The warm white is going to have 2 prongs on the wire. So what you're going to look for is your AC load, which is for a heater, AC input, which is for the power cord, then you'll have your LED wire and your motor wire. In addition to that, you'll have your antenna, you're going to have a USB-C cord for any additional future accessories, and then you have your grounding wire as well. To program the control box, plug it in so all the LED buttons light up. There should be 1 blue and 3 green. Each LED has a little label on the top of it, and each is a button that can be pressed. Use the left and right arrows on the remote to change channels. To start, go to channel 1 for the LEDs. Use a small pointed tool to press and hold the first button for LEDs. Once it starts blinking, you're going to press the up arrow on the remote until you see a double blink on the LED. Next, we're going to switch the remote channel to 2. This is for the motor. You're going to press and hold the motor button on the control box until it starts blinking. Once it starts blinking, you're going to press in the up arrow on the remote until you see that double blink and it's paired. And then the last one, you're going to switch to channel 3 on the remote for the heater, and you're going to press and hold that last LED button on the control box for AC load. Once it's blinking, you press the up arrow and it pairs. The control box is designed to sit in the cavity of the side beam to the right of the motor. More often than not, we find that the control box is going to go in upside down so that it's easier to connect the power cable. Just note, you could place the control box really anywhere on the pergola. Just make sure that your motor wire is long enough to connect to the control box and that you have enough room in the power cord for it to reach down the column and out the bottom. The power cord is going to be inserted through the beam and it's going to be the back right corner. It's going to hang down the outer channel of the column, which will be covered at the end when you snap the corner pieces on. Connect your power cord to the control box cable labeled AC input. Then connect the motor wire to the control box cable labeled DC motor. Then you'll connect your LED wire to the control box cable labeled LEDs. And then if you have a heater, you can connect that wire to the control box cable labeled AC load. Next, you're going to attach the grounding wire. It's going to go through a hole in the beam and attach to one of the screws on the outside of the column. Just loosen the screw a little bit, place the grounding wire on the edge, and then tighten the screw back up. Replace the access panels on both sides. It helps to do this with 2 people. First, you're going to hook the top of the access panel to the top of the beam. Then, once it's in place, push the panel down and use some force or a mallet to close it. You should hear a click when it is in place. All the wires from the control panel should go through the notch at the bottom of the access panel. A little tip here is to not use any screws to fasten the access panel into place. It's already very secure, and adding in that additional screw could make it a little bit more difficult to access the control box if you ever need to in the future. Now it's time to install all of the louvers. Okay, just something to note with the louvers is there's 2 pins on each side and they're different. So the pin that has the pre-installed plastic clip, that is the one that is going to go on the back beam, the beam with the motor on it. And then the other pin on the other side does not have a pre-installed plastic piece on it. This is the side that's going to slide into the front beam. That's going to go in first, and then you'll clip in the other side. Install from left to right, starting on the side with the control box. The end louver is going to be the first one that you install. The louver side with the longer pin is going to be installed in the slots on the front beam. Install this side first and then secure the other side into the notch. Use the plastic clip from the H-bag to secure the louver pin. A little tip here is to use a tool, maybe some pliers, to press these into place easily. Continue to install all of the louvers and plastic clips. The last 3 louvers will be installed a little differently. Insert the louver pins first, same as you have been doing. Then, instead of clipping them into place on the other side, slide all 3 louvers to the right. It helps if they're at a 90-degree angle so there's room for them, and just make sure they're not spinning around or losing their position. Once all 3 louvers are in place, slide them to the left and then you can clip them in place. Next, retract the motor arm all of the way so it is in the most shortened position. The louver arm and the small bracket with the 3 holes should be positioned at the top of the beam. Next, clip in piece 27 along the entire length of the back beam. This is going to hold your louvers in place. It will hook on the top, and then you have to use a little bit of muscle to clip it down. Make sure the holes on each end are pointing towards the louvers. Now you're going to use part 28 and the 3 small bolts from the S-bag. Part 28 has a lip on the top that will be facing outwards. Install to the small louver arm bracket using the bolts from the outside. Now for the fun part, connecting each louver to part 28 using the bolts and spacers from bag R. The bolt will be on the outside and the spacer will be between the steering rail and the louver. Start by hand and then you can tighten using an Allen key. Complete this for each louver and take the time to contemplate life while you're doing it. Once the louvers are all secured, take your corner pieces, which is part 32 in the manual, and snap them into place using a mallet. You'll see the small opening for electric wiring on each one. This is where your power cord will feed through. The last step is to attach the covers to the top of each corner. There should be 2 part K bags. Congratulations, you've completed your pergola install. Now you can sit back, relax under your pergola for years to come. Welcome to the PERGOLUX fam.